Okay, guys, I think we are live, and I think this is working this time. Katie and Kristen, can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped this is actually working. I'm going to take a minute and just let some people jump on. I'm going to post actually, Katie or Kristen, if you could just post in the group that we are live and it's working. That would be awesome. I know there's like a 1 to 2 minute delay on this thing because it records as we go. So I just want to make sure we give people the chance to log in. And actually, if one of you could click on the YouTube link and make sure it's working, I can probably do it from my phone too. So much technology. Oh, we are working. There's my face and all of your faces on that YouTube link. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. I am actually going to pull up a little screen share here really quick. 1 second. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so Katie or Kristen, if you could just text me and tell me that this all looks good to you, that would be awesome. Whoa! We're going too fast. Sorry. I wanted to go back. There we go. Okay. All right, cool. So, guys, if you have jumped on this call tonight, thank you so much for hanging in there with us. We had quite the major technical fail this past Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day that was. And I'm just so happy that you decided to try again with us. But this is how we work. We fail forward. We don't actually know what we're doing like ever. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this now. So I just want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us. I know I have people with lots of different goals and different backgrounds and different ambitions listening in tonight. So we're just super grateful that you jumped on. I just want to take a minute right now to just introduce myself. My name is Taylor Malaterno, obviously. I have been coaching for a little over 2 years. I started officially coaching the end of May 2014. And how I actually got started was my background's in dance. I danced through college and professionally. And whenever I was done dancing in Europe, I came back and I just kind of didn't really care about what I was eating anymore. I had watched what I ate for aesthetic purposes pretty much my whole life, so I just kind of said, screw it, I'm going to do whatever I want. And I gained about 15 pounds pretty quickly. I met my husband, I got married. Sometimes, you know what happens whenever you get married, you put on some weight. But the biggest factor was that 3 months after I got married, my closest cousin to me, her name was Emily, she had been battling leukemia, and she passed away in August of 2013. That was 2 months after I got married, and after that happened, I really spiraled into, grief, and I didn't really know how to deal with that in a healthy manner, so I gained even more weight. I just would eat for comfort. I would sleep all the time. But what also was happening was that my husband was doing the opposite. He's a type 1 diabetic, so he eats pretty well, was working out all the time, and I started to resent him for that time that he was spending at the gym and that time that he was working out, and I just really came down on him hard about that. So it was a constant fight. When he would leave to go to the gym, I would just be miserable and kind of blame him and say he liked doing that more than he liked spending time with me, but in retrospect, why wouldn't he? Because I was miserable, so why would he want to be around me? He really encouraged me to go with him. I think I went like twice. He took it as far as to build a gorgeous gym in our basement. If you can see some of those pictures with him and the one at the top with my LLS shirt on, that was in my house. He built that in my house, so I wouldn't even have to go see anyone. But it wasn't until February of 2014 that I finally realized, like, okay, he is on this healthy train with or without me. I've gained over 30 pounds now. I need to do something about this. So he kept encouraging me to do an at-home Beachbody program, and I kept rolling my eyes at him and telling him to leave me alone and rolling my eyes at all the coaches I saw on my newsfeed and, like, wishing they would just go away silently. And one day I just was like, all right, I'm just going to order T25 on this website. So I went on beachbody.com. I did not have a coach. I ordered the program, and the next month, in March, my husband was doing a fundraiser for a hockey teammate of his who had passed away from lymphoma. And I asked if I could help him run it because I had this little tug to do more fundraising. This philanthropy is a big part of my life. And at that point in time, I hadn't really done any big fundraising, but I wanted to. So he was like, sure, go ahead. You can help out with the fundraising portion. And a week before that fundraiser, we got a phone call from one of his teammates telling us that his wife had just been diagnosed with lymphoma. She was raising money for the Lemieux Foundation, and he was wondering if we could put the donation in her name and in memory of their teammate who had passed away to help her reach her goal. And we were like, of course, absolutely, whatever you want to do, we will help you with that. But they informed us they wouldn't be at the fundraiser that day because Katie, my husband's friend's wife, had earned this free cruise through her Beachbody business. And I was like, oh, she's one of those coaches. So they weren't supposed to come that day, but she actually didn't get cleared to go on that cruise. So she was at the fundraiser. I met her. I quickly realized she was an amazing human being, and I wanted to surround myself with more people like her. So I joined a challenge group with her in April, the beginning of April, and I lost about 20 pounds from then until August. And then moving forward, I lost about another 10. And since then, I have gained it all back because I am pregnant with my first baby, but that's okay. But really, I just never would have done it if I didn't have the accountability and the positive support and just the atmosphere of the challenge groups. That's how I got started. Basically, I'm just a normal person. I'm a wife. I am pregnant with my first. We have a puppy that's like our baby right now. I was a full-time dance teacher in Pittsburgh, but we just moved to Florida a couple months ago. So I'm now a full-time Beachbody coach, which if I would never have taken this little leap, we probably wouldn't have been able to take the move because I'm not sure how quickly I would have been able to find work that could have replaced that income. But it took about 2 years, but here we are. I'm a terrible cook, so all my meal plans are super simple, and I experiment like 1 day a week, and that's about it. Moving on to the next slide, that is me in a nutshell. No, oh, I go like this. Okay, so you might be someone who's been in a challenge group before, or maybe you're someone that just is just thinking about the coaching, but you don't really know anything about the company. So just really briefly, I'll go over this. Most of you have probably heard of like P90X or Insanity. Those are our more popular programs, older programs, or maybe the 21-Day Fix. That's like one of our most popular newer programs. But basically the company was founded in 1998 by John Cogden, who's like a silent business owner, and Carl Deichler, who's very vocal and all over social media. And they wanted to start this direct marketing company for these fitness programs because what they noticed was that they had this fitness company where they were creating these programs to help people get fit, get in shape, but they were noticing that they had this website with message boards on it. And people were just naturally starting to support each other via these message boards. So they were like, oh, we can make a whole business based around coaching people through these programs who have been through them before, who are going through them now. So that's when they created this direct marketing company called Team Beachbody, which is a separate entity from just regular Beachbody. And that's where the team of coaches comes from. Basically, what we do is we run groups on social media, or now we have our own exclusive app called the My Challenge Tracker app, and we just coach people through the programs. Maybe we've never done the program, but we're doing it with them. Maybe we've completed the program that they're doing. I run typically just general groups. You can be doing any workout program, and then our customers are drinking Shakeology, and we're coaching them through that, helping them with meal plans, their nutritional support, anything that you can think of, just keeping them motivated and accountable. Our job is really just that accountability factor. But basically, that's how the business came about and how we got to where we are today. Next slide. Okay, awesome. So now I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. I want to introduce you guys to Katie Isaac. She's actually a diamond coach on our team. She is a Success Club All-Star, which means, you might be like, what the heck does that mean? That means since she started coaching every single month, she's helped at least, she usually has way more than this, but at least 3 people get started on a health and fitness journey every single month since I think December of 2014. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So Katie, if you want to unmute yourself and go ahead and give us your story.
All right, thanks, Taylor. You're correct. It was December of 2014 that I started coaching. Taylor, can you hit mute?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was trying to do.
That's okay. It's like giving I'm here feedback. Thank you. So yes, as Taylor said, I have been coaching since December of 2014. Thanks to all of her posts based on what she told you a little bit about her story. So I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I have had a roller coaster of experiences in my life. I am a recovering eating disorder survivor, and a lot of that has really helped me become a coach and really relate to a lot of women that are in the same shoes as I am, just trying to think about being comfortable with our bodies but having a good mental health relationship with food and fitness. So I am a diamond coach. I've been coaching since 2014. I'm also a part-time educational consultant, which means I travel several times a month to different schools supporting teachers in kindergarten through 5th grade in mathematics. So I am home and away. I have a 4.5-year-old son. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and we have number 3 coming anytime that baby would like now. We're like 3 weeks out from our due date. So trying to balance everything, being a Beachbody coach has been really helpful to me in a lot of ways because I've been able to fit it into pockets of time that work for me, whether it's early morning, during nap time in the afternoon, or later on in the evening. So it's never really cut into my family time during the day, and it's been able to really help us in a lot of ways financially, including tuition for our kids, sending them to ballet, soccer, going on little vacations, that type of thing. But a little bit about me as well. I've loved fitness and I've hated fitness. I've loved food and I've hated food. And when I started coaching, we had just moved to Florida, and just moving across the country is a really hard thing in itself. You don't know anyone. You're picking up and restarting your life. And I was just in a really bad place. I just didn't have a good schedule. And my old habits were coming back. I wasn't comfortable in my skin after baby number 2. Like, the weight wasn't coming off the way that it did with number 1. And I just needed something different because running was getting boring and it wasn't cutting it for me. So after being a person that made fun of people that did Beachbody workouts, including one of my best friends, I decided that I would give it a try, messaged Taylor about the 3-day refresh. And then I said, I just kind of want to think about that coaching thing too. And I jumped right in and I absolutely loved it. The best thing about coaching for me was my own personal accountability. So I think about things that I already do for my family, meal planning and meal prepping, trying to juggle kids, trying to juggle work. I could just pay that forward by being a coach and share that with everyone else. So if I'm doing it, instead of keeping it to myself and keeping my secrets, why not share it with other people and help coach and motivate them along the way, because they coach and motivate me just as much. So it's just such a great relationship to have with challengers. So I honestly don't know what I would do without them. My life would definitely not be the same as it is right now. So thankful for coaching coming into my life. So Taylor, I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right, can you hear me? Okay, cool. I am back. Let me get back onto our screen share. I love Katie's story because my cousin that actually I talked about how she had passed away from leukemia, her and Katie were like best friends growing up. So I knew Katie when I was younger, and then now this whole thing has brought us back together. So I love that about the company and just about the atmosphere as well, is that you really get to reconnect with people or connect with new people. It's pretty awesome. So thanks for sharing. Okay, so next slide is who is a coach? I think we all can attest to the fact that a coach is seriously anybody. You do not have to be a fitness expert. You surely can be a fitness expert if you want to be. You don't have to be a personal trainer, but you absolutely can be if you want to be a personal trainer. You don't have to be a nutritionist, but maybe you are. You don't necessarily have your goal body. That's a huge factor. I think people forget all the time that coaches are in the trenches with them, so we might not have our goal body. We might not be where we want to be yet, but that's because we're in those trenches with you. We are basically doing exactly what you're doing to reach our goals and just be the best version of ourselves every single day. We're just normal people. A lot of us have full-time jobs outside of Beachbody. When I started, like I said, I was teaching dance full-time, 6 days a week, and super busy. So I fit this in about an hour a day. I used to do what I called power pockets, and for 15 minutes spread throughout the day, I would just work my business, and I would be super focused in those 15 minutes to make sure I was maximizing my time. But it's totally doable on your own time, whatever you want to do. A lot of us are stay-at-home moms. A lot of us are single, married, like you name it. It's really just for anyone who just wants to encourage and help other people to be healthy, help them succeed, dedicate their lives to just helping others, and be proof of the product. So by proof of the product, I mean you are working out to the best of your ability and you are drinking that dang Shakeology every single day, because that is pretty much the magic potion that helps us keep moving. So we're just setting the example, and whenever I say that, I mean it in all aspects. So we're going to have bad days, and guess what? We're going to share about them, because people need to know that there's a real human being cheering them on. You know, whenever I have my treat meal, I share about it, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm this robot that can eat perfectly 100% of the time. It's definitely an 80-20 give or take. Oh, and we're going to make mistakes often, which you already know about us because we totally failed at this call 2 days ago. Awesome. Okay, so next question is, how do I make money? We get asked this all the time. It's actually fairly simple, but once you become a coach, there's different ways to help that income grow, which you would learn about as you go. So just the basics, that we make a 25% retail commission. So if someone goes on our website that the company sets up for us, and they order a workout program, we're going to make 25%. Or they order Shakeology, we're going to make 25%. If they order a workout program and Shakeology combined, we're going to make a specific amount per challenge pack. So depending on how much the challenge pack costs, we're going to make a certain cut of that money. We can also then start to grow teams. So once you have a couple coaches doing the same thing under you, you start to make team bonuses and cycle bonuses. And that all grows the more your team helps people start their health and fitness journey by getting started with a challenge pack with Shakeology and a workout program, or maybe our workout supplements and a workout program. Your team is going to grow, and you will start to get cycle bonuses, which we will get into more. The more you grow, the higher you can cycle, so on and so forth. It's a very much like your typical direct marketing, multi-level marketing company. All right, next slide. So what does a coach do? If you have been in a challenge group with us before, you kind of probably have the whole gist of what we do. You might see us on social media posting about our journey. We share, we don't sell, so we share stories. You'll never see us post our links and say, order at this website. That's not how it goes. We really build relationships with people to make sure that we are making the correct recommendations for them. We don't want to just sell someone something that they're not actually going to commit to or be able to complete or feel discouraged about. We want to make sure we get to know them, their likes, their dislikes, and really get them set up with a program that can help them with success. We run challenge groups. So if you've been in one, you know what those look like. If you haven't, basically we either run them via a closed Facebook group or an app. Most of us are starting to transition over to this new app the company just launched called the My Challenge Tracker app. And we just post in there every single day some type of motivation or accountability or recipe or support. And our challengers check in, and we check in every single day, and it helps us keep them on track and accountable. A lot of new coaches are like, I don't know what to post in my challenge groups. Well, for starters, you never have to run your own challenge group just getting started. You will run one with your sponsor coach until you feel ready to run your own. I think I did about 3 months with my coach, Katie, until I was like, yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good to fly on my own here. And all of the curriculum is pretty much laid out for you. So our Coach Online office has challenge group curriculum, so it tells you exactly what to post on every single day. Or some other coaches, like I've created a couple specific curriculums on my own that I like to use for groups. So it's pretty much all done for you. Until you decide you want to like create a whole new challenge group curriculum with a certain theme or something, you never have to do that. It's actually already created, and you just post it. Post the day's post in there. You also have the opportunity to become certified and teach formats live. Actually, this is kind of crazy. Kristen on the call, Katie on the call, and me on the call are all certified instructors in different formats. So I am PIO and Size, and soon Country Heat. Katie Isaac is Insanity, and Kristen is PIO. So you can also go into gyms or schools or wherever and teach formats live. But the last thing that we do really is that we share honest accounts of the products and how we implement it into our lifestyle. So we're not saying like, drink this magic shake, it's going to cure you of like all your troubles. We're not saying that, but we are telling people what it's helped us with. So you'll see me post a lot about how, and Katie, you'll see her post about this too. My doctors, actually I've been through 3 doctors with this pregnancy because of moving, have all given my Shakeology the thumbs up to be my prenatal. So I don't have to take a separate prenatal. I just take a separate folic acid, and I drink my shake, and that's good to go. My midwife now actually drinks Shakeology herself, so she was super pumped about it. My husband's type 1 diabetic, so I will talk about how it helps stabilize his sugars and keeps him like not craving junk, because he really does crave junk whenever his sugars are out of control. And then we always just focus on being the person that you may have once needed. So we think about who we were when we started this journey, how much we really needed someone to believe in us and that we could do this, and we focus on that and being that for other people. Why doesn't this want to scroll? Oh, there she is. Okay, Jen couldn't get on the call tonight, so I'm going to keep it moving. Okay, so next slide is how do you get more rewards for helping others? So this is really cool. The company is actually awesome about rewarding you for helping people get started on their health and fitness journey. So like I said, Katie Isaac is what we call a Success Club All-Star, soon to be legend. So when she started, she helped at least 3 people her first 3 months as a coach, and so the company gave her a free ticket to Nashville to our coach summit that year. There's something called the Success Club trip. So last year it was a cruise. If you help at least 3 people get started with a challenge pack every single month, you earn dollars towards trips. So right now we're earning dollars towards Punta Cana. Last year we earned dollars towards a cruise. There's tons of leadership retreats. In a couple weeks, Katie can't go because she's having a baby, but there's a leadership retreat in Destin, Florida, and I am pushing to be able to attend that. There's tons of training trips. So this past April, we did a training in Deep Creek, Maryland, and our teams got to go and learn from corporate. They always are sending us like free swag and stuff. A couple of days ago, I like opened my mailbox and there was a free Shakeology canister and like some packets in there just because I did my job the month prior. The other thing that's really awesome is that our team is part of the #1 team in the company. So we actually get a ton of really awesome training. Corporate does a lot for us because we are part of such a big, successful organization. The trainings that are available to us are pretty much amazing. Not all teams have stuff like that. So we really have lucked out in the fact that we fall within that #1 organization as well. Okay, so my next slide is, I always like to talk about this because this is where I really feel like our team is different. And I'm going to let Katie and Kristen chime in on this as well. I'll let Kristen tell her story, and then Katie can chime in on how we stand out as a team. So as you can see, our team name is Sweat for Joy, and our little tagline is Sweating for Something Bigger. So really, as a team, we always focus on why we do what we do. So for me, I always think back to how my cousin passed away from leukemia, and then I met my coach at that fundraiser. And just to tell you a little bit about how my business played out, how it kind of got started, and how I the confidence was built for me to just post and to share, because I quickly realized that it was making a difference. There might be a few people that were rolling their eyes, but for every one person that was rolling their eyes, there were 10 people that were inspired. So what happened was, after I met Katie Ursa, my coach, at that fundraiser that day, we became really good friends, and we decided that fundraising was kind of our jam, and we were going to do this stuff together. So that summer, that July, we started this push-up campaign for the Light the Night Walk for LLS. And what we did was, when people donated to our links, we would do a push-up per $1, and then we would post it on social media and tag them in it. So it was kind of like the Ice Bucket Challenge, but it was like the year before the Ice Bucket Challenge. It was kind of crazy. And between her Light the Night team and my Light the Night team combined, we raised about $30,000. And my team became the #1 friends and family team at that walk in Pittsburgh that year. And we did it all in memory of my cousin, Emily, and our team name was Emily's Joy. So as a family, we always talked about, like, what was Emily's joy, what made her the happiest. So that's where Sweat for Joy came from, is that we sweat for what means the most to us. We sweat for our joy, for something bigger. So Katie and I looked at each other after that Light the Night, and we're like, okay, we can do more. What can we do now? You know, this social media and just posting about this journey and sharing it raised $30,000 for cancer research. Now what? So that spring, we got together, and Katie ran for this campaign called Woman of the Year through LLS. It's a 10-week fundraising campaign, and I was her campaign manager. And if you raise a minimum of $50,000 in that 10-week time frame in the spring, you will get a research grant named after someone. And I knew about this, so I told Katie about it, and she was like, all right, we're going to get that 50 grand. So we started sharing about what we were doing. We picked someone every single day. We started the Every Sweat Matters campaign. Every single day we would do our workouts. We would post about our workouts, but not only that, we would post about people who couldn't sweat, who maybe were battling or had passed away from cancer, or were going through some sort of struggle, or just needed to know that there was a community supporting them. And that was the Every Sweat Matters campaign, and we would tag that person. And then slowly but surely, it started snowballing into this bigger campaign with my team and her team and other teams in the organization, all across the organization. And by the end of the day, the end of the fundraising campaign, Beachbody alone brought in $34,000, probably even more than that when I really think about it. But one day we got a giant check that said $34,000 from a Beachbody event, and we had already raised 20. So in that moment, we knew we had the 50 to lock in that grant named after Emily, and we went on to raise like another 20. So we ended up at about $70,000, just because we decided to share something that was important to us and that mattered to us and that we knew was making a difference. So yeah, you might see us posting our sweaty selfies, and you might see us talking about these workouts and Shakeology and what it's done for us, but the bigger why underneath of it is really how we stand out as coaches and as a team, is that we're always sweating, looking to make an impact with our actions, if that makes any sense. Okay, so next up is Kristen. Kristen, I'm going to let you tell your story and maybe just kind of give your little 2 cents.
Hey guys, okay, so I'm Kristen, and honestly, I got started on this journey right when Taylor was doing the LLS fundraising that she did. I taught with Taylor, and you know, every day I was seeing her come in and drinking her Shakeology and things like that, and I was just like, I don't know, I was one of those people that was sort of eye roller. I was like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand how, like, you know, this is working for her, and you know, I don't think I could do that, blah blah blah. So anyways, but one thing that stuck out for me whenever Taylor was doing her fundraising was that she kept talking about how much her Beachbody business had really, and her challenge groups and things like that, had really pulled her out of a dark spot. And all I kept thinking was, you know, I'm filled with so much stress and anxiety all the time. What can I do differently that's going to help me out? At the time, I was actually going to different doctors, and they were trying to give me different medicines and things like that to lower my anxiety. And thinking, like, if that's what it comes down to and that's what I need to be doing, then okay, I'm willing to do it. However, if I can find a way for me to get rid of these feelings without having to rely on medicine, then I'm going to do it. So I actually reached out to Taylor one day and was just like, I know that this is working for you. I don't know if this is something that's going to work for me or not, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So, I got put into one of these groups actually because I told her I was like, I really would have to do it as a discount coach. I would need to have that, discounted Shakeology and things like that. So anyway, she put me into one of these calls, and it was actually at the launch of one of the new workout programs that was coming out at the time, and it was the size program. So we did like a little sneak peek into the workout first, and then we had a call like this afterwards. And after hearing everyone's story on that call, I was like, "You can sign me up. I'm ready to join it today." So that's kind of like how I got started. It was more of like an internal journey for me than like a physical transformation. And I think that people always think of Beachbody as having to have these huge physical transformations, but for me it was never a physical thing. It was always a deep emotional thing for me. So a little bit about how I work my business and how I find time. So I am a full-time dance instructor, and since Taylor left me, I'm taking a lot of her hours now, and I'm going to be doing a little bit longer shifts and things like that at the studio. So I actually have been following, the pocket power hours, but not power hours. I don't really have time to do a straight through hour. So I just kind of do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. At the studio we get some 15-minute breaks, so it's really nice that I can just, sit down, reach back out to people, do my follow-ups, and things like that. I had been coaching since April of 2015. It was like right at the end of April. So sometimes I like to say that I started in May. But, and so it's been like about a year and a half now, and I just honestly can say that like this past year, like this past summer, is whenever I feel like I really started noticing a difference within myself as far as like how far I've come personally, how far my business has come, and how much I can help others, and things like that. So that's really kind of how I got started and my story, and just being able to, help others get started too is just kind of my thing. And like people who feel overwhelmed and feel stressed out, like that's who I love connecting with because I get it. I've been there. I understand, the ups and downs and just, where that struggle might lie and things like that. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of me. So Taylor, I think I'm going to throw it back over to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Hey, Katie, do you want to kind of jump on for a minute and just talk about how you kind of like stand out as a coach and what you do that's different? Maybe you could talk about like your kids and your meal planning and how you get them involved and whatnot, and how it's like a family thing.
Sure. So that's one thing that I think it seems a little bit scary or intimidating or difficult at times is a lot of coaches as they join our team say, how do I stand out? How do I make myself different? And I really just think about who I connect with. So a lot of my sharing is just what I do on a daily basis, which is just try and live a normal, chaotic, all and when excuse me, in general can connect to. So things that I share that help me stand out among other coaches out there is I talk a lot about my kids. So my son has had some health issues, and so for me, really focusing on his health and making healthier choices has helped us combat that. and not have to go to the doctor or use anything in regards to medicine. So I post tips for back to school, for lunches, packing lunch boxes, meal planning. I like things that are quick and simple. While I love to cook, I am not an elaborate cook. I'm a very simplistic cook. I love to just throw a couple things together. I'm like your 5-ingredient girl or less, under 20 minutes. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, let's get it done. So I share a lot of recipes. I share a lot of tips of how to incorporate cooking and your kids, how to lighten the load, give them some chores, some opportunity to learn more about nutrition. And I also love to share about fitness. I talk a lot about just getting up early in the morning, getting that in, feeling better, more confident before work, before your day starts, just giving yourself those 30 minutes. So I like to share a lot about things that I feel that people can relate to the most that may be in the same boat as I'm in.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so moving right along here, I don't want to keep you guys all night. Basically, once you sign up, people are like, okay, I'm going to sign up as a coach, and then what's going to happen? You're going to like throw me to the wolves. I'm going to have no clue what to do, and that's false. Basically, the second you sign up as a coach, you are going to be trained and supported from your upline coach and your Star Diamond upline. So there's tons of trainings, different opportunities for you. You'll go into what we call Coach Basics training right away. That will start, depending on when you sign up, we usually run one as a team once a month. So that will be run. We'll teach you exactly what you need to know, the ins and outs. You'll get a welcome email from your coach telling you exactly what to do in your first week before you start your Coach Basics training. You get one-on-one support, so usually one day a week I set aside to just focus on one-on-one support with coaches. So if you need a 30-minute call to kind of brainstorm or troubleshoot, I have a whole schedule that I post in our team page and say just comment what time you want to chat. If these times don't work for you, we'll make it work. So you have tons of one-on-one support. There's tons of team trainings. Every Monday night, we log into a team call that the #1 coach in the company, Melanie Mitro, runs, and we have access to that because we are part of her organization, and it's just always a training call or a motivational call or personal development, something just to make you a better coach or better person in general. And it's good brainstorming for yourself and for bonding. There's corporate trainings. We have Summit every year. I could go on forever and ever and ever. But basically, you are never alone. You do this with a team. For example, Katie is about to have her baby, and when that happens, someone's going to jump in and help run her challenge group. I have people in my groups all the time that are adding people. They're helping me, especially right now when I'm like I'm not looking for results. I'm looking to like gain weight and just be strong. So I have other people with other goals in there. When I have the baby, it will also be over like Christmas time. So I'm sure I'm going to be like help, sending out the SOS to the team to help. There's always people around to help, to answer questions, and just be there for each other as far as our fitness and our business is concerned. Because we always say that your business can't really thrive unless your fitness is thriving. So we like to keep each other in check as far as our workouts and eating and stuff goes as coaches, as well as supporting each other's businesses. All right, this is pretty much my last slide because I know you guys are all like, sign me the heck up yesterday. Like, why are we still talking? Just get me signed up, right? Yeah, you're all thinking that. Okay, so here's different ways that you can get started. You can sign up with a challenge pack purchase. So basically what you do is you pick a workout program in a month supply of Shakeology flavor, and you pay for that challenge pack, and you can sign up as a coach that way. You don't have to pay the $40 coaching fee to sign up, and then you just get started. You're signed up as a coach, and you get product for signing up as a coach. That's the best value for your money. The second way you can sign up is you can pay a $40 coaching fee, and then if you've already purchased a challenge pack in the past, we can have that $40 reimbursed for you. And then after your first month, or after you're signed up, basically anything that you would want to purchase would be 25% discounted, or it would be, it's just 25% discount. What am I talking about? Plus, you're going to pay a $15.95 fee every month, and that just covers your websites and whatnot. So your Shakeology will be $100 when you're a coach, and your fees are $15.95. So you're going to pay about $16 for your Shakeology monthly, if you want to think about it that way. And that keeps your websites up and running, and it's like $16 cheaper than ordering Shakeology as a regular customer. So multiply that by a lifetime, and you're saving like a decent amount of money. The other thing to note is that active duty or veteran, military, or spouses of military can have your business fees and your coach sign-up fees reimbursed for you if you submit proper documentation. So just reach out to the coach that invited you here tonight, and they can go over the best way for you to get signed up as a coach, because it's kind of different for everyone depending on what they have going on. If they already have all the workout programs, or maybe you want to do the 3-day refresh and your Shakeology needs to ship soon, so it might be better for you just to get a new challenge pack with your sign up. The other thing to note really quickly before we end is that there's all different types of coaches. So I know I posted a video about this earlier in the week about discount coaches. So some people on our team are literally just in it for the discount. They're in all of our challenge groups. They're awesome support systems, but they have no intention of ever running a business. They just want the support and they want the discount, which is awesome. That's all I wanted at first too, and then I caught the bug. The second option is a hobby coach. So maybe you're someone who just wants to get your Shakeology paid for. So you can have 3 customers every month ordering Shakeology under you, and you'll make enough in commission to cover the cost of your own Shakeology. If you're not really into the whole challenge group thing or running a challenge group, I always am more than happy to allow my hobby coaches to just jump into challenge groups with me, add their challengers, and I'll coach them and coach everyone, as long as they're adding value and checking in and not just taking that commission and getting their shakes for free and then I never hear from them again. They're still active in challenge groups and participating, and that would be someone that's a hobby coach, or maybe they want to make like a little bit extra money on top of that for like groceries or gas or guilt-free mani-pedis. I say that all the time because I get guilt-free mani-pedis now and I never used to. Or maybe you're someone like myself who is really looking to grow this to a full-time income, and you are going to be in the trenches with your business as well as your fitness and really just work hard to grow it. It obviously will not happen overnight. It took me 2 years to get to where I am now, and I'm still working to grow because we got a baby coming. So there's always work to be done, but the beautiful thing about this is that you help people. So every single day I know that I'm waking up and that someone needs my help, someone needs me in their life for help, and I get to get paid to do that. So there are different options. When you're ready to sign up, your coach, if you're listening to this, if you're in the group, if you're however you got a hold of this, whoever invited you to listen to this is going to be reaching out to you and following up with you to see if you have any questions and help you get signed up and get started. I can't wait to see you all in our next Coach Basics group. I'm going to stop my screen share. I feel like I'm going to see so many fun new faces in our new Coach Basics group, which actually is going to be starting on September, 12th, I believe I'm starting. So I didn't want to start at Labor Day week because I know everyone's like all crazy. Kids are going back to school. So I was going to push it back 1 week, get everyone situated, signed up, and start on September 12th. All right? So we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for sticking out all of our technical difficulties over the past week. You guys have been awesome. Let us know if you have any questions in the group or anywhere. I don't know if there's a little chat thing over here. Yeah, no, nobody said anything. Okay, cool. So if you guys have any questions, just post them in the group. Ask whoever invited you. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Kristen.